know what I'm talking about.
What's up, Waldwick? I'm Lil George from the Warrior Broadcast Center, and today I'm bringing you a special feature on the boys lacrosse team. Let's get at it.
So I'm an attackman on the lacrosse team, so that means I score all the goals.
I play usually bottom right close defense.
I play midfield or attack.
I play goalie.
I'd have to say probably Anthony, because he's our goalie, and probably Joey. Joey's pretty cool.
Alright, so on offense, I'm gonna have to go with me and Brendan Ryan. You know, I'm pretty humble, but I'm pretty good. On defense though, Anthony Urana. Anthony Urana's insane, bro. He is cracked. He's goated on the sticks.
Shout out my boy Joe Hausch. He hit somebody and knocked him over, which was kind of cool.
I'm gonna shout out this guy right here. He just scored a 99-yard goal yesterday from his own goal. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a shout out.
So I think we're gonna finish this season like pretty even, probably like a .500. For the future though, I think we got some great freshmen and underclassmen, so I think we're gonna have a strong future in the next few years.
Charles feels good when he plays this.
That's not even funny, man.
Through the streaming service Disney+, Marvel has more opportunities to introduce new characters and present new projects in an easily digestible format. To date, Marvel Studios has put out 6 shows in limited series, with the latest being Moon Knight and Miss Marvel set to release soon. So today I'm going to highlight some of the highs and lows of these shows so you can decide for yourself if they're worth watching. Number 6, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This show is pretty messy. There's a lot of good things going on, but it's mostly outweighed by the bad. First, the villains are very contradictory and uninteresting. The story wants you to sympathize with them and their ideals, but their actual actions make it hard to. One of the things I like is the introduction of John Walker. He's a very complex character, and I like that the show acknowledges that the audience is not going to accept a replacement for Steve Rogers as Captain America, and it runs with that idea. However, he is very inconsistent at points. I also like a lot of the themes that the story is trying to convey, as well as spending time with 2 characters that were mainly supporting roles before. It's a good way to pass the mantle of Cap onto Anthony Mackie's Falcon, but on its own, it's pretty mediocre. Number 5, What If? It's pretty good, and I don't have much else to say about it. It's really just an anthology collection of some alternate scenarios, so it was a good way to develop the idea of the multiverse on a smaller scale without much repercussions to the overarching storyline. I also like how they went animated for this one, something new. Overall, though, the show is a bit forgettable, and not all of the episodes were great. Number 4, Moon Knight. The show had me pretty invested in the first 2 episodes with the intrigue of not knowing what's going on with the split personalities and the blacking out and such. Fortunately, the show starts to lose some steam in a lot of the later episodes. Moon Knight is at its best when it is exploring the characters' mental illness and slowly revealing their trauma. The last episode feels really rushed, as it's the shortest, and has so much content that it feels like it should be split into 2 to allow more time for everything to sink in. Overall, I really like the rapport between the 2 personalities, but in the ones that focus more on one, the audience might want more of the other. Finally, although it showcases some great performances from the likes of Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke, the show tries to mix a few too many genres and mystical elements and doesn't even showcase Moon Knight in the suit all that much, and these things make it a little underwhelming. Allergies. Number 3, WandaVision. Number 3, WandaVision. Vision and Scarlet Witch were always characters that I was really interested in, so I was more excited for this show than a lot of other people. Similarly to Moon Knight, it starts off great with the elements of classic sitcoms and the black and white grading, with a hint of eeriness and suspense. I appreciate how it really commits to the style of sitcoms throughout the decades with similarities to shows like The Brady Bunch, Modern Family. At the end of the show, once the mystery is solved, the show kind of loses its charm and becomes generic superhero content, CGI fights and the such. Similarly, the presence of Agatha as a villain seems unnecessary. They could have just had Wanda be the villain in her own story, like the first few episodes had teased. This show had potential to be the best of the lot, but it dropped the ball in the last episode or two, seemingly to avoid being too risky.
It's probably just a case of the Mondays. Am I right?
Number 2, Loki. This is the first show on the list that I can really describe as great. It introduces so many wild concepts like different timelines, the multiverse, and even time police. I love the performances in this show. Tom Hiddleston was as charismatic as ever, but I think the one who stole the show was Owen Wilson as Mobius. What this show does best is dissect Loki as a character, study what makes him him, and give him a compelling arc even though we've seen him so many times before, and even though it's really a different version of Loki than we got in the last few movies. The way they use the other Loki variants to develop that is interesting as well, especially with seeing all the parallels between them all. I thought the ending was very clever as well, but some might find it underwhelming and unexciting. There were a few times that I think the story moved a little too slowly, but otherwise this show was, for a while, my favorite and has huge significance to the MCU as a whole. Loki is probably the best show on this list, but there is one that I personally prefer just a little more.
I hope you know you deserve to be alone, and you always will be.
All right. A bad memory prison? How quaint.
Which is Hawkeye. Now, this is a very biased pick for me as this show has heavy ties to the Netflix Daredevil show, which is one of my all-time favorite shows, so watching that first definitely enhances the experience. There's a build-up to a mystery character in the show that I think means more if you are a Daredevil fan. Regardless, the show is a fun ride all the way through, once again highlighting a character that is often sidelined. Plus, Haley Steinfeld is great in the role of Kate Bishop. A lot of the villains are pretty silly, but it fits for a show that is smaller scale and doesn't take itself too seriously. My one complaint would probably be that Hawkeye still gets a little overshadowed by Kate in this show, which is a bit of a shame since it was supposed to finally be his time to shine. Otherwise, this is an example of a great street-level project from Marvel Studios, and maybe the Falcon should take some notes. Although not dramatically and thematically the richest, I had the most fun with this show, and this is why it comes out on top.
Shoot up!
That was amazing!
Overall, I can say that I enjoyed all of these shows, but not all of them are going to be for everybody. I also think that most of them would benefit from having a few more episodes and not trying to go so grand in the finale. It seems like Marvel has taken some more risks with the Disney Plus content. There's some darker characters and stories, but they end up submitting to a lot of the usual MCU tropes. These shows all have a lot of missed potential that I think would be better reached if they had really committed to a different tone or style instead of conforming to the generic MCU format, which most of us are getting tired of. Marvel has been in need for a change of pace since Endgame, and a few of these get so close, but we're not quite there yet.
Moses' Law. Balloons attached to the flask. Sorry. Why is he calling?
Sir! Sir, wake up, sir! Sir, hello? Sir, are you okay? Sir! Sir, are you okay?
Yeah, what happened?
Sir, you passed out at your school. We had to go get you.
Oh, alright.
Is everything okay? Were you feeling any...
I had a cough, but that's about...
Oh.
What's this? What is this?
My machine. Don't question. It's my machine. That's good.
Okay. What does the machine say?
No, it says lung cancer.
Look, it doesn't say anything.
It's lung cancer, sir.
Okay.
The payment is $200,000 and my machine will fix it.
$200,000?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get the money.
Hey, Professor. What I did? Come on. I'll be taking this.
What? Got an offer for you too. I have the offer of a century for you two right here. $300 for this. It's the strongest stuff on the market. All of your friends will want this. $300. With this type of money, I can start paying for my treatment. Time to make some more.
Y'all know what time it is. It's Carolina Slim. Y'all know what time it is. It's Carolina Slim. They wanna buy. Y'all done did it again.
Professor, I got your stuff.
What is this?
Methamphetamine.
So this will get me a good buzz? How
The best you've ever had.
How much is this gonna run me?
$1,000.
$1,000. It is what it is.
I'll be seeing you.
See you later, Professor.
I was told this belongs to you. I found this in the locker room. Is it yours?
No.
Yeah, well, it is yours. And you're gonna screw up your D1 opportunity for the rest of your soccer career. What is wrong with you? Whoa!
What did I do?
Hey, Professor, the cops are calling for you.